just trying to block me. Everything was going against the sanction bodies, going against everything that people sit and tolerate. I wasn't tolerating it, so it's kind of like the black sheep, like, he's the bad one. Get him out of here. We don't need him.
Yeah. I think this is disgusting. I think this is musty at the highest level. Oh, Shakur Stevenson has been stripped.
Terence Crawford finally broke his silence, and he didn't hold back at all. The boxing legend went on Instagram and posted a message that sent shockwaves through the entire sport. He aimed it directly at the World Boxing Council and did it with no filter whatsoever. His tone was sharp, clever, and filled with heavy sarcasm. He wrote that the WBC was still angry and told them to relax because the ring belt doesn't cost anything. This wasn't a bored, retired fighter looking for attention. This was Crawford.
Makes you so motherfucking better than any other sanctioned bodies? Huh? Answer that question. What makes you better than the WBO, the IBF, or the WBA? Everybody accepted what I was giving them. But you, the WBC, think that you better than everybody, don't you?
He was standing up for his young star, Shakur Stevenson, against one of boxing's most powerful organizations. Fighters and sanctioning bodies have clashed for years, but this situation goes deeper than the usual talk about politics and corruption. This feels personal. It's about payback, double standards, and a conflict that could tear the sport apart from the inside. What the WBC did to Shakur looks exactly like what they did to Crawford months earlier. Now people are finally connecting the dots. So the big question is this. Is this really about rules? Or is the WBC targeting fighters who dare to challenge them? To understand why Crawford is so angry, we have to go back to January 31st, 2026, when Shakur Stevenson walked into Madison Square Garden with everything on the line. The 28-year-old from Newark, New Jersey, was facing Teofimo Lopez, a fighter known for power, speed, and a confidence that often looked arrogant. Lopez was the WBO junior welterweight champion, and most experts believed he had the advantage. Shakur was slick and technical, no doubt, but people questioned whether he had enough power to compete at 140 pounds. Those doubts vanished quickly. From the opening bell, Shakur shut everything. He delivered a flawless performance, controlling nearly every round with pure boxing skill. His jab snapped Lopez's head back. His movement kept him safe. His ring IQ showed he was always 2 steps ahead. By the final bell, there was no argument. Shakur Stevenson had won the ring and WBO junior.
It was an amazing night. I put the work in. I stayed disciplined throughout my camp. I was in tremendous shape. And T.O., he's a hell of a fighter, but I was the better man tonight.
After the fight, Crawford was right there in the ring, celebrating with his protege as the crowd exploded. The whole boxing world was buzzing. Shakur had reached the top, and his future looked wide open. But that excitement didn't last long. Just days later, everything flipped. On February 4th, 2026, the WBC shocked everyone. They announced that Shakur was being stripped of his WBC lightweight title immediately. The timing couldn't have been worse. He had just scored the biggest win of his life, and before he could even enjoy it, one of his belts was gone.
That's right. Shakur Stevenson has been stripped of his WBC 135-pound belt, fresh off his absolute destruction and masterclass in ending Teofimo Lopez's career last Saturday night in Madison Square Garden with the beautiful display of boxing.
The WBC said their rules didn't allow a fighter to hold belts in different divisions with other organizations. Since Shakur now held the WBO junior welterweight title, they claimed he couldn't keep the WBC lightweight belt. On paper, that sounds fair. But here's the problem. Most fighters get time to decide which division they want to stay in. Usually they're given weeks or even months to choose. Fans expected Shakur to get that same window. Instead, the WBC acted instantly, like they were waiting for the perfect moment to strike.
WBC has stripped him now of his 135-pound title because he won the WBO title at 140. Shakur Stevenson made it abundantly clear that he's a 135-pounder. He's going up in weight just for situational fights.
Shakur didn't even get time to celebrate before everything was taken from him. And he's not the type to stay quiet when he feels disrespected. His response online was loud and clear. He went to X and fired off a series of posts aimed straight at the WBC. His main point was simple but serious. He said the WBC wanted him to pay $100,000 in fees for a fight their belt wasn't even part of. Think about that. He fought Lopez for the ring and WBO titles. The WBC belt wasn't on the line. Lopez wasn't their champion. Yet they still wanted six figures. Shakur said he'd rather give that money to his daughter. Then he went harder. He said the WBC had nothing to do with the fight and that it was eating them up. To him, this wasn't about rules. It was about jealousy. He also said he had already paid them after his last fight. So why pay again? Then he dropped the real bomb. He said they were coming at him because they had problems with Bud. His last message was simple. Take the belt.
In a rush to do nothing. Can't give this dude a week to make a decision on what he wants to do next.
To understand that line about Bud, you have to rewind a few months. In September 2025, Crawford did the unthinkable. He moved up to super middleweight and beat Canelo Alvarez, becoming undisputed at 168. It was historic. He took out the biggest star in the sport and proved he was on another level. Then, in December 2025, the WBC made another shocking move. They stripped Crawford of his WBC super middleweight title. They said he owed them $300,000 and refused to pay. That's when things really exploded.
Him $300,000 plus another 100K something for sanction fees, right? Then he gonna tell me I ain't even apologize? Like, who the fuck you think I am? Well, you better slap your fucking self and paying your ass shit. Fuck you talking about pay you $300,000.
Crawford posted a video that went viral instantly. He looked into the camera and said he wasn't paying them anything. He was angry, direct, and done with the whole thing. That response turned a money dispute into a full war. WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman tried to explain it in interview.
He did not comply with the rules. Then he moves up to super middle and makes the fight of the century, beats Canelo, makes $50 million or around that. The WBC absolutely is not going to charge 3% of such an amount. We made a very clear 0.6%, which is $300,000.
Sulaiman said Crawford made around $50 million for the Canelo fight and that the normal WBC fee was 3%. He claimed they reduced it to just 0.6%, which came out to $300,000. He also said most of that money would go to a charity that helps fighters. On the surface, it sounded reasonable, but Crawford didn't buy it, and his reply exposed the problem.
With $225,000 going to the Jose Sulaiman Boxers Fund, which is to help former fighters in need. And it is just regrettable. Not even a thank you or I'm sorry, taking a different route. No response. I wish him the best.
Every other organization accepted what Crawford offered. The WBO, WBA, and IBF had no issue with his payment. So why was the WBC the only one demanding more? Why did they believe they deserved extra? Crawford never got a real answer. So he walked away. He retired from boxing as an undefeated 5-division champion and the first fighter in the 4-belt era to be undisputed in 3 divisions.
If you've been taking your body through hell for 30 years, would you retire? All right then. So there go your answer. So that's why I retired. I gave my all to boxing, but I'm not going to give my health to boxing. If I was to come back, who would I fight? I'm asking you.
So say it's a good question.
All right, so there you go. There you go. I have nobody to fight. I have nothing to accomplish. So now I'm just coming back for the sport and just money.
His legacy was untouchable, but the WBC still tried to challenge it. When Shakur got stripped too, fans started putting everything together. Both men were close. Both lost their WBC titles months apart. Both cases involved money. Both had criticized the WBC. The idea spread fast. Was the WBC targeting fighters who spoke out? Was this punishment disguised as rules? Shakur's claim about them having beef with
You put Lamont Roach at number 2. Shakur says, okay, I'm willing to fight Lamont Roach. And you strip him? This is why these sanctioned bodies are a joke. Look how long Gervonta Tank Davis held the WBA title. It's a joke.
People began questioning whether the organization really cared about the sport or just their own power. Crawford watched it all quietly at first. He was retired, but still invested in Shakur's career. For weeks, he let Shakur handle it alone. But when he saw the same thing happening to his protege, he couldn't stay silent. His Instagram post said everything without saying too much. He told the WBC they were still mad and reminded them the ring belt was free. That was a shot at their obsession with feet.
So since you, the WBC, and you got the fucking green belt, which don't mean fucking shit, the fucking real belt is the ring belt, which is free, motherfucker. Who you talking about? You want me to pay you more than the other sanctioned bodies because you feel like you better than them. How in the world all the sanctioned bodies agree to the same amount, but you sit your motherfucking ass up there and say that I need to apologize to you?
The ring title is earned in the ring, not bought. Crawford was saying real belts don't cost money. And he was also telling Shakur he had his back. He reshared all of Shakur's posts so the whole world would see. The message was clear. The WBC was still upset with Crawford and was taking it out on anyone close to him. And the biggest sign of all? Sulaiman said nothing. No statement. No defense. Just silence. At the same time, another threat was rising. Dana White had launched Zuffa boxing with one promise. No sanctioning fees.
Is there going to be a Zuffa belt where like the winner of the Zuffa belt has a springboard into like Riyadh season and a championship fight, a Ring Magazine fight?
You and I have never talked about this, but the answer is yes.
Right,
That's
of
exactly
course.
what will happen.
Of course, yeah. Right.
There will be a Zuffa belt, and then there will be a ring belt. And yes, I will not recognize any of the other sanctioning bodies.
Now Crawford and Shakur are standing together against a system that's run boxing for decades. And they're not alone. Dana White is building something new. The big question is this. Is this really about rules? Or is it personal? Did the WBC strip Shakur because of policy? Or because they lost control? Are they fair with everyone? Or only tough on critics? The signs point to the second. In a sport where fighters risk everything, the real fight might not be in the ring. It might be in offices and online. With Crawford retired and Shakur stripped, the WBC has made powerful enemies. And as new options rise, their grip on boxing may start to slip. The battle has just begun. The future of boxing is on the line. Let us know what you think in the comments. For the best boxing updates, subscribe to our channel The Ring Star and turn on notifications. Check out our other videos. Until next time, peace.